This is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Today I have for you a very interesting and beautiful game from the Compass Games, namely The Last Stand of the Moors, 1482-1492, Granada, a game designed by Jose Rivero. Today in this material I would like to do the overview of this game, kind of unboxing, a bit about the rules, explaining what's there. Maybe I will be also later on creating more materials in which, for example, I will show you the example of play. This game is very strongly influenced by another similar, let's say, system-wise game from GMT Games by Matt Calkins, Sekigahara. Here we'll have a lot of influences from this first game. However, the specifics of Granada will be reflected in some additional rules. Before we jump into the specifics of this game, a couple of words about the history. So Granada will be telling us the story of the end of the last Muslim kingdom on the Iberian Peninsula. It happened exactly during those years, during 10 years war. It was possible thanks to unification of Castile and Aragon, kingdoms, Christian kingdoms, which finally stopped fighting each other and focused on the common enemy. It was due to the marriage of Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabel I of Castile. Actually, the rule book, which you can see here, very nicely introduces us to the history. So they got married in 1469, and then from 1482 they started the war with the last kingdom, Muslim kingdom. And this is exactly the game which will be guiding us through those 10 years in a system similar to what we had in Sekigahara. First, let's look at the rulebook. Beautiful, very nice. I might say that Compass Games is definitely improving quality of the games they produce. And the rulebook is like, let's say, without optional rules, 19 pages long with some examples of play, introduction, table of contents. So it's not a complex or complicated game, nor Sekigahara was. So guys, this is really interesting game also from the perspective of how quickly you can jump into it. There will be blocks. These are example of the leader blocks. This describes it. It tells us how the points will be scored, very nicely showing that if there is no immediate, sudden victory, the sudden victory will be for Muslims if they manage to kill both of those kingdoms, king and queen, and for the Christians the immediate victory is if they conquer the castle of Alhambra, which was in Granada. Then at the end of the game they will check who is controlling how many castles, how many watchtowers, and how many resource locations, and each side will get some victory points, and based on this will define the result. Just like you would expect, in the game you will have pieces which will be, white blocks will be attributed to Christians, the black blocks will be attributed to Muslims, and they will be further split into, first of all, kingdoms, Castile, Leon, Aragon, and other kingdoms, or factions like Andalusians, Banu Sari, Banu Baningas, and Zegries. So these are the, let's say, shields which shows the particular factions and kingdoms. And on the blocks you would have the strength of a block, which is equal to the number of shields. On top of this, you will have some special markers like cavalry, crossbowmen, and artillery, which will be also adding additional possibility to fight. The victory of Christians was possible not only because of the unification, but of modern warfare. The army of Ferdinand was much more infantry intense, using a lot of gunpowder, especially artillery. Thanks to this, they managed to breach the so far impenetrable Granada, walls. So this was really important. The game will be played, of course, with the cards. Here we have anatomy of a card. We have always faction name, we have also the symbol, and just like in Sekigahara, blocks of this faction may deploy into battle. There will be possibility with this trumpet to deploy special abilities of a block, so those abilities will be bidding for initiative at the beginning of a turn, just like as it was in previous game. And something new, there will be naval battles, and those cards will have also some naval battles values. Then I will show you the components, but we'll have turn marker, initiative marker. Here we'll be checking the hits during the battle. But what is new will be towers, watchtowers, and castles. So on the mat we'll have castles and watchtowers, which initially will be aligned with, let's say, both factions as the border goes between them, with some exceptions. But they will be also important for the fight, for the battle. The cubes we'll use to mark the ownership of the area, but also victory points. I will not be going into too many details here. The rulebook nicely shows movement, battles. There is an example of battle, I believe here, very nicely showing how both sides are fighting, retreats, how the naval battles are fought. This is important. How the sieges are being performed is also important. Special rules, we'll have commander cards, bombardment on Christian side, watchtowers cards, cavalry charge and crossbowmen cards, castle surrender cards, and some special units. On top of this, we'll have optional units, optional cards and markers like mercenaries, papal bull, and some additional cards here, or even pioneers for devastation markers in castle sieges. Wow, out of supply markers. Very intriguing, very nicely written design notes. I already read it. I like to understand what the designer, author had in mind when creating the game. And that's all for the rulebook. Some historical information. Oh, this is cool stuff, especially with a map, which shows how the war was progressing, what was conquered till 1486, 1487-89, and then the fall of Granada, last 2 years of the war. All the cards are visible here, and here we'll have naval cards and how the decks are done. Now we have Muslim deck with their cards, so we have a Christian deck with their cards, we have naval deck and castle surrender deck, and this is one additional card. Beautiful, beautiful rulebook. Then we are getting some clarifications. Okay, game materials, so how to apply stickers, setup, one errata, and each example. Fine. Really like what they added. Here we have a core of the game, so the blocks which actually then go to these drawbacks. So we'll have this for the Christians and we'll have this for the Muslims. I believe we'll have to apply a lot of stickers. We have two types of armies for the Muslims, the regular, and there is one special leader you cannot kill and you can only capture. So let me put it here. And these are the Christians, yes. So white blocks. We'll need to apply the stickers. Of course, they are slightly different than the ones we have in Sekigahara, which were more, thick, but it also was reflecting, let's say, what you would expect from the Japanese culture. Let me just get the opener to those cards. It will be much easier to do it that way, or simply I will use, this. Okay. Scissors are always good. So here we'll have, first of all, this will be used in the optional rules, and this will be marking the ownership of the area, but also the victory points on the victory point track, which we can already see here. Okay, then we have, this seems to be castles, yeah. Let me show you a couple of them. Yeah, they will be also on the map. And then we have watchtowers and some additional markers. which are also used during the game to present some leaders which will not be moving. And this, I believe, a watchtower. We'll put them on the map in a moment. Okay, now we have card decks, and those cards are beautiful. I believe they should have some easy way of open. If not, I will find one. Okay, so we opened one deck. Let me open the second deck. Okey-doke. So, let's have a look at them. Okay, these are the naval cards. These are the Christian cards. I believe Muslim cards. Muslim, another naval. Even more of those. Okay, they are sorted in a funny way. Not sure why. This way. Okey-doke. Okay, this is some special card. Let me put it here. Okay, this is also naval card. Yeah, we'll need to sort them out anyhow. Okay, and this will be the Christians card. Yeah, you can see Aragon, Castile, Leon. And I believe here we have only this type of cards. And as shown a moment ago, this is the card which shows Castile, that you can deploy that kind of block. This is the strength during the naval battle and for the initiative purposes. Various of them. Oh, cavalry charge card. Watchtower, I believe you can get some additional strength if you are controlling the watchtower during the battle. Let me see some special cards with artillery. We should also be somewhere. Oh, this allows you to play a special card. This allows you playing special card, yes. Bombardment +2 art blocks from the eliminated pile on a friendly occupied location. Wow, that's huge. Muslim cards will be here. Let's have a look at them. Andalusians, Banu Baningas, okay. I believe we have some naval bombardment in the regular battle. Wow. Sortie, good. Most probably if you control the castle, you can play it. So there are some surprises in those cards. And I really like also the graphics, how they are done, created, really looking really nicely. So these are the naval ones. Okay. This is a new rule with those naval battles, yeah, of course. Let me put this aside. We're looking into what's inside. Here will be the victory points. So we would have 3 black and 3 white cubes, and with them you will be, marking how many of castles, how many of resources, locations, and how many watchtowers we have. And of course, depending on this, you will have some victory points. For the Muslims in black, it's 3, 1.5 if connected to Granada or 1 watchtower. For the Christians, you would have it here, yeah, 2105, yeah. So this is the way you mark it, and then you calculate it together what's the total value. Pretty straightforward, I believe. Then we'll have player aids, 2 for each player. Yeah, we have also the setup, nicely presented. Yeah, what kind of units are here. As you can see, some of them are pretty fine, some you will be drawing. Another player aid. Let me see. Yeah, these are the similar. So battle reference cards. So how do we fight the battles? Okay, really high quality player aids here, and then we have stickers. So let's have a look at the stickers. These are the Christian stickers. Units with a special cavalry, artillery and crossbowmen. Types of special equipment. Here we have a navies. Here we have Ferdinand, yeah, of course. Yeah, with his wife, some special knights, yeah. And now we have, as I told you, these are the forces. I believe this leader cannot be captured or killed. He can be captured, and they are treated slightly differently than the rest of the Muslim forces. You know, honestly, between the Muslim forces, there was also a lot of squabble and fights and quarrels and wars. So it's not only on the Christian side. And you can see 4 factions which will be here. A lot of stickering, but you know, guys, I love commands and colors, so I'm used to stickering the cubes. Now the map. For the map, I believe I will need to make some space. It's a beautiful map, but it takes some space, so let me just put some of the stuff aside. Okay. Here we are. Let me now double check what you can see in the camera. Okay. Granada. Here is the site where the Muslim player sits, and you can see this is the initially controlled part by the Muslims, and here we have the Christian kingdoms. The turn track is at the top right. Each year has 2 turns, with exception of the year 1842, where there is only the second turn, and here we have only the first turn. The impact track shows us the strength during the battle. Every 7 impacts kills 1 of the blocks taking part. Here we have a legend. You can see the castles, you can see the watchtowers, you can see the Alhambra castle, and actually at the beginning of the game you set it up that way, that you put, yeah, this is controlled by the Christians, this is controlled by the Muslims, this is also controlled by the Muslims, this is castle controlled by the Christians. Then you have watchtowers. One trick, you see that there is a Christian watchtower already here and there is a Muslim controlled watchtower here. So this is how it was, and except for those watchtowers you have some blocks also. So it's not so straightforward, you know, to get through those terrains. These are the main roads, the red ones, and the black ones are, you know, the secondary roads, and the black-red are the mixed roads. You will see also here that there are some Muslims already in Africa, and there is possibility to sail. Here we have the resource locations. Yep. And that's all on the map, what I believe I wanted to present to you. I will not be going into the full movement and let's say combat part, because yeah, this is for another movie. It was just to give you the overview of Granada game, which was inspired by Sekigahara, with a lot of new mechanics. As you see, naval battles, castles, you have watchtowers, and yeah, many more cool things in the optional rules. I believe we'll stop here. That will be all for today in this unboxing and overview video for Granada, game by Jose Rivero, published by the Compass Games. A really beautifully looking title with a very interesting mechanics. Definitely a work of love and passion by Jose, which I cannot wait to bring to the table to learn even more about this fascinating conflict. That's all for today, guys, from me. We are hitting 20 minutes mark, so I believe, yeah, that's quite enough for the unboxing. Thank you very much for being with me. If you like this video, please give thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, do not hesitate to subscribe. That's all for today. Stay tuned for much more great content, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching.